I can start with my introduction. So, hello everyone. Myself Aditya. I am having 14 years of experience in this industry. I have a through and through experience on SAP, and I started my career as a SAP technical consultant as an ABAPA, and then I moved to MDM and MDG. Uh, since 2013, I am in data governance and data management area. As a part of data management and governance, I have been served various projects. Those projects are mainly manufacturing, retail. Beside manufacturing and retail, pharmaceutical projects also I covered. So in this project, I have been working as a initially I have been working as a technical consultant, then promoted to techno-functional, and now I'm managing the team with a solution architect. So basically, my present responsibility is to uh, managing end-to-end solutions, understand the requirement, and then create the MDG design in order to deliver them, and then implement it, test it, and deliver it as per the any ERP implementation flow. So basically, I have been part of material master, business partner, which is including customer master, vendor master, and finance master project. And in this particular discussion, rather than I call it as a training, I prefer to call it as a discussion. Uh, there, whatever the experience I have throughout my journey, that I will share with you with some decent hands-on experience, so that will help you in order to grow yourself in MDG project. So before I really spend time on anything, I think we have some interesting slides to cover. Mm, so if you already have seen the recorded one, probably you have seen such kind of slides, but obviously I have some information which are some updated information that I will add on while I'm going through this slide. So first of all, uh, I would say when I'm explaining this slide, if you have any question, just hold on your questions, because I think the way I will cover it, I will cover 80% of your questions, and then whatever the 15, 20, 30% questions you have, that we will open the floor and we will have a complete discussion there. Okay? Because the only reason is there are a lot of things I need to talk about. There are a lot of information I need to share with you. So any sort of a interaction may divert my attention from the list of items which I need to talk about. Okay, that's the only reason, nothing more than that. Okay, so I will try to make this discussion short and simple. Okay, because that's the main reason why I try to understand that what are the audiences I have today, because it's not that people are only belongs to the SAP world. There are people who belongs to out of SAP world. So for them, this entire world is different. So I need to be very careful, and also I need to make the presentation simple. Okay, so they will also understand easily. So first of all, why master data management and governance is required? That is the first thing. So the answer of this question is that if you see any industry, whether it is a manufacturing industry, whether it is a retail industry, whether it is a banking industry, whatever the industry it is, every industry is having some product, some services, some sort of relative informations which they needs to manage, and manage in such a way where they will have a good business output, right? So that is the main objective. So let's say, for an example, there is a company who is manufacturing something, so, and that product they are selling to somebody else. So in this entire process, they need to create some sales order. In order to manufacture that product, they need to procure some of the raw materials, okay, some other companies. So they need the purchase orders. Then they need to maintain the employee details. They need to maintain the customer details, vendor details, material details, financial informations, etc. So in order to manage and govern those data in such a way where those data will be easily accessible and easily manageable, okay, and that will end of the day will make a value addition to the business. That is the whole objective of having this MDG in front of us. Now, whenever the data management and governance comes into the picture, MDM, this data master data management and governance comes into the picture. Now, um, there are many companies who are providing the solutions on master data. Okay, like Informatica is there, IBM is there, Colibra is there. So similarly, SAP is another organization who is having their own tool, own product, in order to support and manage and govern the master data. So that is nothing but SAP MDG. So SAP MDG is basically managing and governing material data, customer data, supplier data, financial data, employee data, etc. Okay. Now, this MDG, whatever today, master data governance, this tool, these tools did not came suddenly. There is a some migration happened, and the migration happened from SAP MDM. So MDM was the first tool from SAP in order to manage and govern the master data. That was SAP Master Data Management. There we have four different subtools, which was Console, Data Manager, Import Manager, and Syndicator. And then we have a MD. Then based on those subtools, you basically manage and govern the data. And more or less, the architectural point of view, MDG and MDM were same, or it is same, more or less. But the only difference is the process. The MDM, SAP MDM tool processes are very much tedious and very not really mature kind of a tool, where you have a lot of uh, fit gaps you can see. So, and the another important point is this tool is majorly designed on CC++. So because of that reason, SAP was looking for a certain solution where it can be managed in a it can be improved in certain way where there will be a flexibility, there will be a large scope of MDM area covers. Okay, so these are the things SAP was looking for, and then they came up with SAP MDG. The the biggest improvement in MDG is that it is on SAP ABAP. So SAP ABAP, we know it is a SAP's own programming language, and SAP ABAP is such a programming language which can easily manage. Okay, so that is the major benefit which we have in MDG over MDM. Now, in MDG, how many different type of data we manage? Mainly four different types of data. Reference data means you are creating some material. In order to create the material, you need some reference data like material type, unit of measure, material group, plant details, sales details, evaluation informations, etc. So those informations we call it as a reference data. Okay. Then you have a master data like material, customer, vendor, finance, etc. These are the master data. Then you have a transactional data. Now, transactional data means where you have a sales order created or purchase order created, etc. As far as MDG is concerned, we don't deal with the transactional data directly. Okay. And then you have a reporting data. Reporting data means your data analytics informations. Okay. These are the reporting data. So basically, MDG directly or indirectly touches those different type of data. Now coming to SAP MDG capabilities. So always we have to understand that MDG having three main pillars. First pillar is the data quality. It will give you the so far the best data quality approach. Secondly, extension of the existing record. Whatever the master data you are creating, you can extend for the future purpose. That is another pillar. And the third one is the governance framework. So basically what happens that in without governance process, if you see, you have a material which you needs to create, but for that you need a various approval. So what happens in a old school method, if you see how industry was working, so the requester needs to drop a mail to the planning department or purchase department, get some approval with those relevant informations. Then it will go to finance department for further approval. Then after finance department, the ultimate approval comes, and then you basically manufacture the material. This is how basically the process. But in MDG, it is giving you the single window solution. So whenever the requester submit, it goes to planning, then purchase, then finance, and then so on. So this single window approach is reduce your effort, is reduce your time, and is giving you the best decision making approach. Okay. Now, so here you can see in the capabilities, out of box delivery. Out of box delivery means there are a lot of standard templates SAP MDG is providing in order to deal with the central data model, in order to deal with the user interface, in order to deal with some other things as well. So those things ultimately SAP giving you as a standard template, and you are just using those standard template and you are enhancing your uh, uh, you know uh, your possibilities based on the business requirement. Next is the integrated object model. So here in SAP MDG, all these segments are tightly integrated with each other, like data model, UI model, process model, validation derivations. These are all very tightly integrated with each other. Thirdly is governance, collaboration, and data quality. So as I mentioned, that single window approval process you have, and then you have the best data quality approach. Then you have a robust replications. By using the ALE IDOC and by using the SOA services, you have a replication opportunities. And then you have a reusability, extensibility in order to create, change, or mark for deletion of the data. So these are the capabilities. So in our discussion, we will talk about those capabilities in detailed way. Now, as I mentioned that we have a material master, which is one of the master data which we are going to talk about. Customer master, mainly customer master is having customer basically in MDG, we have a business partner concept, where business partner is the high level hierarchy, and under that you have a lower level hierarchy, which is ERP customer and ERP vendor. And under ERP customer you have a company code and sales area, where in ERP vendor you have a company code and purchase org. So these are the details which we will talk about more whenever the opportunity comes. So vendor master, and then finance, a GL account, cost center, profit center, etc. So in our discussion, mainly we will focus on these three areas. That is business partner, including supplier and customer. Then we will also focusing on material, and then finance master. However, in our discussion, we will touch upon the enterprise asset management, which is the another module, uh, mm, um, mm, utopia. So this is not every organization use it, has a some specific purpose to use it, that we will talk about whenever we will discuss this. And then we will have a retail and fashion management. But these are all additional module, not every company use that. There is a specific reason to have use it, but mainly the 99% company they use this one: finance master, material master, and business partner, including customer and supplier. So our concentration point will be this one. Okay. Now, in this particular discussion, because this discussion will have a three different angle. One is the technical, another or the architect level. Okay, because the various audiences we have, some audience is looking for the technical exposure, some are looking for functional exposure, and some are looking for more than that, which is an enterprise architect level approach. So we will cover all these three areas. Okay, fortunately the period of time, so I will talk about each and every aspects of that. So in MDG there are some different activities involved in order to configure them. First is data model. So what is data model? Data model is mainly, it is a place where the the list of attributes and their relationships are maintained, which we are going to use down the line in the framework. Okay, that is nothing but the data model, which is nothing but it's like sound like a data house. Okay, now SAP has given us a standard data model for BP, and finance. But however, uh, for current scenario, the global, if we are serving one global organization, then whatever we have received as a standard attributes or standard setup from SAP, that is not sufficient enough. We need to extend them with some additional attributes. So that extension part we are also doing here in the data model. So what I can tell you, that in this particular chapter, we will understand the standard data model, custom data model. Custom data model means completely custom. And third one, which is most important for any kind of a project, that is enhancement of the standard data model, where you have a data model, BP data model, just you need to enhance them as per the business requirement. Okay, so with the various examples we will do this particular activity. Then the process model. Process model is defining the processes like create, change, mark for deletion, block unblock, mass update. These are the different processes, and that process apply for customer master, supplier master, material master, etc. So here in this we will again talk about what are the standard process we have, how we can extend those standard process with some business requirement, and then the completely custom process. Then we have a UI model. So in UI model, whatever the attributes you have in the central data model or finance, that you then uh, mm, reflect them on UI, because ultimately UI is the one where the final output will appear. Okay, whether as a requester or approver, you will see that is on. So in UI model we will have again the standard UI model, customized UI model, and enhanced of the standard UI model. In this particular, that how we can do the field manipulation activities, like to make some field mandatory on UI, to make some field invisible, to make some field visible for a specific workflow steps. So such kind of field manipulation activities also we will talk about in this particular chapter. This will have a little technical exposure, but the way I will explain with the example, I think you will understand it. Then we have a workflow model. Now in data model, process model, UI, there is common. That is, I was talking about the custom, the standard, the enhancement of the standard. But in workflow, it's not like that. Because every organization is having a very unique business process. So this is a standard process. Every business process is a unique process. So here we will see by using the kind of a advanced workflow approach. Otherwise, we use the simple workflow using transaction SWDD. But here we will be using the rule-based workflow. Based on the rule-based workflow, we will design the business. We will design the business rules along with the workflow. Okay, so it is having a combinations of the business rules and the workflow. So that also we will do with the hands-on. Then we have a validations and derivations. So validations and derivation is completely technical topic. Okay, and here you need a good understanding about ABAP. Now those who says that, look, I'm not the guy, or I'm not the person who is for ABAP. So what I should do? Whether I will close my eyes during that period of explanation? No. This is also important for you, even though you are looking for a functional role, or you are looking for some the enterprise role or solution architect role, because these explanations will help you to understand what is happening in these validations and derivation areas, and how it is happening. So when in real time project you will have an opportunity, you will you will not be completely blind. You will have a kind of a understanding that how, if this is the requirement, then how to deal with that requirement. So it is an added advantage for you. Okay, so here in this particular chapter we will mainly use the BRA plus and ABAP baddies. So here we have two different topics to talk about. One is the service body, another one is the rule body. Under service body, we will talk about email notification, rule context preparation, dynamic agent selection, and parallel workflow processing. Where under the rule body, we will talk about the single entity validation and cross entity derivations. Everything whatever listed here in this particular slide will be execute separately hands-on with hands-on. Okay. Then we have a search and duplicate check, advanced search and duplicate check, which is based on the HANA based search. And we will also see how the duplicate check configuration we can do and so on. Then we have a data replications. Mainly the in this data replication chapter, before we come to the replications, we will first talk about the very important point, which is a data upload, data download, key mapping, value mapping. Then data import activity, we have a specific import activities through LSMW, LTMCs, DIF approach is also there, file upload approach is there. Okay. And then data replications via ALE-IDOC and SOA services. Apart from that, we do have the topic before, in fact, before replications, that the slides we will little rearrange next time. So before replications, these topics also will be covered. That is data consolidation and mass processing. This data consolidation and mass processing is a part of this S4 MDG feature. Okay. I think in ECC MDG 9.2 also it is available. But the purpose is however, the purpose is data consolidation helps in mass data creation, where mass processing helps in mass data change. Okay. Now it has a lot of different configuration involved that we will talk about. Then we will have a Fiori, because in S4 MDG we will be experiencing with SAP Fiori, which is a UI5 application. Okay. Uh, in by default we are receiving NWBC, but NWBC will not work when you are dealing with QM, the data analytics, with all the new features which are available in S4 MDG. So we will see here that how you can configure the Fiori applications for master data. Then also we will talk about the MDG process analytics, how you can create the data quality rules, etc. And with the hands-on
Mm.
replications we will talk about. Okay. So yeah. So these are the major details which we will cover up. Now the point is, okay, these are the details which you are covering in MDG, that is good. Now few important question which always comes in mind before we really kick off the session. First is that whatever you are covering, whether in real time job description, those things are available. Okay. In order to answer this, let me unshare my screen for a while. Let me share my screen now. Now, whatever I discuss in the slide, the same details you have in a bit detailed manner. So here we have a chapter wise, like first is SAP MDG introduction. In introduction, we will talk about these are the topics. Data model, we will talk about these are the topics. Process model, UI, validation, search and duplicate check, data replication, and enrichment. Now, these topics, if you check with the job description which is available in different job portals, you will see 99% topics we are covering. whether it is a functional, whether it is a technical, or it is a techno-functional, or it is a solution architect level. Because this is all about MDG, nothing beyond. Okay, so that is one question. Second is, what is the opportunity available? Now, at this moment, I'm sure that all of you, before coming here, at least you did a basic round of uh, research about MDG. Otherwise, you will not be here. Okay, so uh, MDG is currently a very demanding module because this is the only module from SAP in order to manage the master data, govern the master data, and SAP has a lot of vision with SAP MDG in order to expansion of SAP MDG in master data, governance and analytics area. Okay, so it has a, at least for, according to me, I can see next 5 years it has a very good future. Okay, and it is expanding in a very fast manner. Okay, that is another point. Next is, whatever the topic you have listed here, how much time you need to cover them. Normally we says that it takes 20 to 30 hours. Usually 20 to 25 is good enough. Okay, with all the explanations and all. Okay, now you can say that certification we cover 40 hours and you cover. See, there are differences in certification. How much you pay, that also you see. I can do for 60 hours, then the entire commercial parts also will be changed, right? Because ultimately I'm giving my time, effort and all those things, so everything matters with all this. So that is one thing. Next one is whether the fast track module is available. Absolutely available, but that depends on the group of people who are part of this entire discussion. Because the moment we will go for a fast track session, things will be little difficult for those people who are particularly coming non-SAP, from non-SAP world. Okay, so that's what uh, uh, we do have this format available, but we also recommend that at least initial few chapters, those are the foundation chapters, there you give some time, because that is the foundation baseline understanding. So if your baseline understanding is strong, if you give some enough time, whatever the explanations, whatever the exercises we will do, if you spend some time with yourself offline, that will really help you to understand the fundamental things of it. Okay, next question which comes, that is, when we will have these sessions, mainly on weekends based on my availability and obviously everybody's availability. However, we will have every sessions recorded, and that recording will be available in the SharePoint. Whatever I will discuss on every topic, we will talk about whatever with the necessary explanations, with system access, system hands-on. So you will be provided one demo system with some months of access. Okay, and in the same system I'll be using in order to create those demonstrations, and you can also use the same system in order to practice them. That is one thing. Another one is, that is, every topic which we are going to talk about or discuss, that will have a reference document, and those reference document will be available in the common SharePoint, and you will be providing the access of the common SharePoint, where you can go and you can access the document for a reference, because without reference it is very difficult. I'll be talking about 10 things in this discussion, and I will be talking about major points, but the moment you will doing the self study, that time it is important that whatever I said, along with whatever the reference document I am recommending, that will give a little more explanations. Okay, so that's the reason reference document on every individual items are very important, because my reference documents are not only SAP documents. There are some SAP documents as well, but those documents which I particularly prepared based on my experience with the necessary screenshots, which will help you to understand like how we need to maintain such things practically. Because at the end of the day, my intention is very clear that at the end of the day, we need to deliver SAP MDG on ground. We need to support the project, right? So in order to support them, just having the theoretical understanding is not enough. So you should have the practical configurations knowledge as well. So that we are also providing here. Okay. And apart from that, if you have any further questions, yes, we will talk about. Uh, yes. So that's it from my side. I'm now opening the floor. So if you have any questions, we can take it now.
Practicing SAP for more than 13 years, effectively experienced in analysis, design, and development of various data migration, data integration projects. And currently, I'm working with a one of the big four company. So my question to you is: first question is, if an individual has not been exposed to ABAP, how much ABAP knowledge is required as a prerequisite to perform a techno-functional role in SAP MDG implementation program?
Okay, I think you can ask all your three questions, then one by one I will answer.
Okay. Second one, if I'm not wrong, are we expecting to cover areas like the asset information workbench or retail and fashion management developed by a Prometheus group? And third question, and the last one is, I already achieved SAP MDG certification, but that does not make sense for real-time project work. So can I expect that if I enroll in the training, I can work in the SAP MDG implementation program without asking for any help? That's it.
Very good questions, and it is important to answer one by one. Okay, first question, that I need to project myself as a techno-functional consultant and whether I need any ABAP understanding as a prerequisite. Answer is absolutely yes. Because the moment you say that I'm dealing with the technical stuff, I need to look into as a part of my responsibility as a be having the ABAP exposure. Okay, without ABAP exposure, you cannot deal with the technical part, whether it is writing the code in the respective UI field property bodies, or there are different service body, or dealing with the different APIs. It's very difficult. Okay, that is one. Second, third question was, you did the certification and uh, still after the certification you found really difficult were independently working in MDG. Yes, there are a lot of differences. Having certification is something, and having the ground level delivery is something else. So basically, that is what I'm categorically focusing in this particular discussion. Whatever the topic we will discuss, starting with the data model to the end. We will focus on the hands-on. Hands-on is our key area. Okay, because I repeat, I just before this question I just mentioned, on the ground you have to deliver. That is the reality. And whatever the batch you have, certifications and all these things, training from XYZ, whatever, if you don't know how to configure them, if you don't know how to execute them, then it's very difficult to deliver on the ground. So that is very much necessary, and that is our focus. Even the documentations which we have, as I mentioned, most of the documentations I prepared. Okay, it is not just a SAP document. There are some SAP documentations, obviously. We cannot overrule the SAP documentations. There are some SAP documentations, but what is new in my documentation? In my documentation, I mainly cover the required configurations with necessary screenshots. So those points which you need to cover as a project activities, okay, on that particular item or that particular exercise. And your second question, sorry, come again. What was your second question?
Second question was, uh, are we expecting to cover areas like asset information
Ah,
workbench and retail
correct, correct.
fashion management? Because I already have two clients to implement fashion management regarding MDG. So how can I, yeah,
Okay,
that's,
very very good question, and the answer is just now I mentioned. Mainly, we will cover the business partner, including supplier and customer, material and finance, this area. And apart from that, I will also touch upon, not in a very deep way, because our main focus is these three. And this is also, we will at the sideline, we will also talk about enterprise asset management. Now coming to the retail and fashion management, where I have no practical experience. Obviously, I can supply some documents, but I do not have a practical experience. I do have a little experience on EAM, but I have a zero practical experience on retail and fashion management. So where I have a zero experience on a certain topic, I really don't want to talk about that, because I might be not the right person to do that. So our main focus will be on finance, material, and business partner. And apart from that, in sideline, we will cover EAM, but obviously not retail and fashion management. Okay. Yes, I can supply some documentation, but not the detailed discussion.
thanks, Aditya. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, yeah. Any other question?
Hey Aditya, hello.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Yeah. Yeah. So actually, I have around 13 years experience in SAP, SAP ABAP, SAP ABAP on HANA, workflow and BRF plus workflow in like core ECC based workflow. So actually, as now, I mean, I feel ABAP is quite crowded because we have more supply than demand. So I was just trying to switch to SAP MDG. So that's the reason I just attended this demo class. So, uh, what do you think about this one? I just wanted to understand. I mean, what is your opinion on this one?
Then MDG will be your cake basically, because MDG
No,
is a
it
MDG is a
skill.
techno-functional module.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I was talking about, that is MDG is, if you see in principle, MDG is a techno-functional module. So those people who are coming from the technical background, they always have some age in MDG area. But that doesn't mean that I'm demoralizing the functional consultants. Okay. because please keep in mind functional consultants are as important as technical consultant as far as master data project is concerned. So this is completely false statement. Those who are saying that functional consultant has no role to play in master data project, okay, probably those people doesn't know how the project how this master data gets managed in the real time business process. Okay, so but there is no doubt that if you are coming from the above background and the way things we will talk about here, that will give you a extra benefit in entering to the MDG world. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, any other question?
Hi, Aditya. Good evening.
Yeah, please go
Hello.
ahead. Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah. How are you doing, Aditya?
Thank you. It's it's a Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, all these topics, things it's okay, but are you covering this third-party integration with the MDG?
Okay. Good question. So basically here we as far as integration is concerned, we are basically covering two things. One is the ALE IDOC, another one is the SOA. Okay. We do not have a currently we do not have a setup where we can show you exactly that integration is happening, okay, with a real time exercise. Let's say for an example that I'm having a communication between CRM to MDG, where CRM is my source and MDG is my destination, and CRM is sending the customer ID, and it is happening through PIPO. Okay, so that sort of a setup I don't have, but at least what we will do, we will have a at least a basic discussion and the basic baseline understanding. But in current setup I do not have enough infrastructure I can show you some third party integrations.
Yeah. So nowadays I see that Ariba with MDG is going good, right? Ariba integration with MDG. At least you can share those documents with us, like how to configure third
Absolutely,
party.
that is the not only sending documents, that is one of the if you see wait a minute here in enrichment topic. So in enrichment, however, like even though enrichment you can see after the replications, but we normally do this before replications. That's what I was talking about, that we need to rearrange a bit, that where data analytics, DQM, these are the things, and some new topics also will come before MDG replications and import. So basically, now coming to this point, in this enrichment chapter, we will also talk about uh, few interesting and new topics. That is uh, the federation model, the centrally managed MDG, which is by default we are using like in a greenfield implementation, and next is the hybrid approach. Okay, so while explaining that, we will have a similar example as a baseline understanding which is available, where the data is coming from Ariba, entering to MDG, managing the core and application data, and update back to Ariba. Okay, so this sort of a discussions we do have. Okay,
Yeah,
as a part
thanks.
of enrichment. Yeah.
Yeah, and one more question. Now, coming to this UI model, we are using Fiori, right? UI5, right?
Yeah, so basically when we will start with, because if you see the flow, our flow is like data model, process model, UI. So when we will be in this particular chapter, we will be focusing on NWBC, NetWeaver Business Client, which is coming as a default. But slowly when we will move down with further details where we have a Fiori configurations. Okay, so Fiori configuration is a UI5 applications. So there we will see how the Fiori configurations for material, business partner and finance happens, and categorically then we will continue to access the consolidation, mass processing, DQM, data analytics, which will be directly accessing from Fiori applications. Okay, so these are the things which we are experiencing on UI.
Yeah, Aditya, I understand that, but actually that is not my question. For example, suppose we are trying to design a custom UI model. Normally in the previous versions, we used to do with FPM or WebDyn Pro app. Now in these sessions, are we designing with UI5 applications, or we are going to design with the FPM and WebDyn Pro applications? Hello, Aditya. Yeah, Aditya, can you hear me? Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, Aditya, can you hear me?
Hello.
Hello.
Am I audible?
Yeah,
Yes,
Aditya.
Aditya. Yes, Aditya. Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Okay. Yeah,
So Aditya,
I was talking in mute. Am I audible, everyone?
yeah, you are audible, Aditya.
Okay. So wait a minute.
Aditya, did you get my question?
Aditya, are you there? Can you hear us?
Just give me 1 minute. I'm getting some network issue. Just give me 1 minute. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, Aditya.
Okay. Okay. Uh,
Did you get my
if
question?
you don't mind, can you please repeat your question, because I had some network issue. So probably I was missing some of the points.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
So when we are going with some custom development, and the UI doesn't exist and we need to create from the scratch, then we'll be doing through Fiori or from FPM using FPM.
Okay. Okay. I got your question.
So
So
now why
basically, to
previously everyone is doing through FPM. Now
right.
now this has been new versions. They are following Fiori applications.
Right. Right.
So for
Now
customer
let me
integration
help you.
analysis, like how we can develop a Fiori
Hmm.
configurations and everything. So that is my question, Aditya.
Okay. So now this question having two-part answer. First part is, that is, firstly, let's say you have a MDG change request, and in MDG change request, you need to add couple of custom fields, custom attributes, or you need to add a new UIBB. Then how you are going to do that? So that is something which you need to enhance the existing FPM application. Okay. So then you will be required to enhance the applications by either using uh, uh, the necessary configurations, enhancements, or the customizations. These are the two options which you have. Hello?
Yeah. So Aditya, you are saying that in the latest version also we'll be doing
Wait. I'm not.
enhancements.
I haven't complete yet. Wait a minute. So
Okay.
this is the point where you are going to extend the existing change request with the additional attributes or UIBPs, etc. Now coming to that, I need additional Fiori tile, or I need additional Fiori catalog. I need a tile which will directly call a specific transaction. So such kind of things which comes under the Fiori. Okay, because NWBC does not support the tile concept. The tile concept and the catalog concept comes under the Fiori. Okay, there you need to create the additional tiles, additional catalogs. You need to maintain, if you have a kind of a requirement to maintain some customized theme on FPM applications, that you need to manage through FPM, sorry, through Fiori, through UI5 applications. So basically, even though to reiterate your questions, even though we are moving to Fiori, that does not mean that we are saying tata bye bye to FPM applications. No, because the baseline component is ultimately your WebDinpro component. On top of the WebDinpro component, you have a FPM applications. And on top of the FPM applications, you have a Fiori UI5 component. So there are two-part questions which I just answered. If you are extending existing change request with some additional UIBBs, with some additional attributes, then you will be required to extending the existing FPM template. And if you are extending with additional tiles, additional Fiori catalogs to modifying the Fiori themes, then you have to extending the Fiori configurations. Okay.
Yeah, Aditya. So you are saying that for the new versions of Material Master Fiori application, backend is FPM only, FPM components only. On top of that, we have Fiori catalogs.
Not only for material master, even for business partner,
Yeah.
for finance, for any component you take, any master data component you take, the backend is always the WebDinpro component. And then on top of that, you have a FPM applications. And then you have, whenever you are moving to the Fiori, there you have a Fiori component, which is UI5 component.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks, Aditya. Yeah.
Yeah. Any other question from anyone?
Hi Aditya. Hello.
Please go ahead.
Can you
Go
hear?
ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, Aditya, having like you said, having a web the skill is an added advantage for learning this SAP MDG. But I am from completely from SAP Security GRC background. You know, right? We only deal with the access and authorizations in SAP. But I'm completely a technical guy. I have absolutely no knowledge on this functional. So will I be able to learn and understand the concepts of SAP MDG? Because I'm really looking forward to learn this MDGs module.
Okay. To answer your question, that's what I was actually fearing, that the previous answer might be threaten some of you. But to answer, do you know how many percentage of technical consultant we will be required in any MDG ongoing project, or any MDG project rather? The percentage is 30 to 40%. The rest of the 60% are functional and the solution architect level activities. So please keep your thought out from you that if I'm not in ABAP, I'm just out of the race. This is nothing but it's a mindset problem. Okay. but the reality is completely different. You have lot to do in master data area as a functional consultant, and the added advantage which you have, that is you are coming from the security part. There are a lot of basis and security configurations involved in terms of SOA service configurations, in terms of org structure definitions and restructuring if necessary. Then you have a role setups, you have authorization setups for a different transactions for different certain roles, etc. So you have a lot to do. So please keep this thought out from you that if you are not having the ABAP background, you have no opportunity in MDG area. But the reality is there are hardly 40% activities which are done by the technical consultant. Rest 60% will be done by the functional or the solution architect. Okay.
Yeah, okay, Aditya. Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay. Any other question from anyone?
Hi Aditya. So
Yeah,
this
Yes.
is
Aditya.
so I
Okay,
am
please.
into
Yeah.
completely software testing. So manually, most of the time I work on this automation. So this is completely new. SAP is a new world to me. So does this helpful for me to learn and showcase something on MDG functional side of it? That is one question. So second question is, so I may be required you mentioned some few months of server access, right? So that will be good. Like how many months that server access we will get that?
Okay. Now to answer the server access and the documentation access, this is something which coordinator will help you to get all the details. So I'm not getting into that. Now to answer your question that I'm coming from non-SAP background, trust me, you are not the first person who is coming from SAP background and categorically in MDG world, and they learn MDG and they start their career. See, one day, if I say in a different way, so one day I also started with no understanding. Period of time we experience the thing based on whatever the work came to us or came to me. So that is how it is. So you are starting, then just you start it. Then slowly you will get the the opportunity, and then hurdles, and from the hurdle you just learn, and then you will excel in that area. Okay.
Okay, Aditya.
The way
So
the entire discussion has been designed, that is the one thing which I already talked about in the initial discussion, that we are covering the ground to keeping in mind that we have an audience also from non-SAP area. Okay, so that is of course the otherwise from the beginning itself I could have been strictly mentioned that those who are coming from SAP, please do not attend this. It is not your cake. Okay.
okay, Aditya. So yeah. In
Any
between,
other
I got
question from
disconnected.
any
So I I
to
didn't
wrap
get
up the
the
session? No?
so,
Yeah, please go ahead. Go ahead if you have any question.
so in normal how many months server access that I got disconnected in between. So
Okay,
I can
that information you will get it from coordinator. Okay, so how many months of server access you will get it, what will be the access for the documentations and all. Okay.
okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, Aditya,
Thank
one
you.
last question.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, so how is the job market for MDG, and in general, how is the demand for SAP MDG in market right now?
No, you don't need to ask me, and you don't need to trust me for that. You just go to the job site and you just search SAP MDG, and that will speak your answer.
Okay, okay,
You don't
okay.
need to ask me this one.
Hi,
Yeah,
Aditya. So you're going to cover material master data and as well as BP and finance master data, right? So is this concepts are same for these three data domains in MDG or different?
Mm, Tricky question. Answer is baseline is same, but not exactly. Okay, because business partner concept is having little differences than material, and again finance is little different than ultimately it's a different master data altogether. But
Correct.
if you see the baseline configurations approach is more or less same for all, but yes, they are not same.
Okay. So but my next question is here so there are multiple people, right? Some people are interested in material master data, some people are finance. So I am pertaining to finance. So are you planning to take
No, no, no.
separate classes? It's a combination.
This is not how we are doing. We are
Okay.
actually giving the example of all three. Let's say one example from business partner, or let's say customer. One example for material. One example for finance. So we
Okay.
are covering all the areas. So this is not somebody is liking and somebody doesn't like. Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, Aditya, which version, which is the latest version for MDG?
This is S4 HANA MDG 2023.
And we are going to get trained on the same version or the below version?
This is the version which we have.
Okay, so the 2023 is the latest version, right?
This is the latest version, 2023. Correct.
And I heard that there are some new new changes happen to MDG. For example, for workflows, normally they used to use BRF place. Now they are saying
I
that
know, I
now.
know, I know there are a lot of changes are happening, but the thing is that we have a
So
certain
you explain the
no,
differences
we
like.
don't cover that. No, we don't cover that because the thing is we have to lock our content at some point of time, right? Because that is what I was keep telling that MDG is coming with the different versions. In fact, in next 6 months, maybe they will come up with some another version. So you have to lock the content at some point of time. So of course we are covering like whatever I just talked about, but there are many things which recently incorporated in 2023 in terms of data analytics and all. So those things we are not covering. Probably we can highlight it, but not in that way, because if I committed something, then that means I'm committed to do. So that I'm not going to do at this moment.
No. We are not talking about the new data analytic things, Aditya. We are talking about only the MDG part. Like there is an update in BRF place, right? Now we are using rule-based workflows, and I think they have come up with some
That I
single.
already cover up. That I already discussed that in workflow we will talking about the rule based workflow only. That already we discussed.
Yeah, thanks, Aditya.
Okay, I need to wrap up, guys. So is there any other question?
Yeah, hi Aditya, this is Arvind. I actually have a question which already spoke by other members. Like I'm basically from a functional side. I don't have any technical background. I'm again repeating the same question. I'm sorry. But could you just help me? Like, is it difficult? Because I don't want to go to a technical side, but here in MDG, it's like some percentage of technical requirement is there as well as the functional. So, just let me know, like, in functional, what are the areas we'll cover and what technical side we can touch upon so that we can
I
understand
understand your
and
question. I
yeah.
understand your question. Let me help you. So basically, starting with the prerequisite. Okay, let's not talk about prerequisite. So starting with the data model, uh, process model, UI models some extent, because when it is coming to feeder class extension or field property body extension, their functional consultant will not be helpful. There we will be required technical consultant. But adding the custom fields, managing the context-based adaptations, these are the things which will be completely functional job. Then you have a workflow building of BRF plus. Then validations and derivation, completely technical area. Uh, and then next is the duplicate check and search configurations. Then you have a building the configurations for consolidation, mass processing, DQM, data analytics, and then Fiori configurations, and then you have a uh, the configuration setup for data replications and data import, and throughout regression testing. Okay, so these are the major task of functional consultant. Now you can understand you have a lot of list to do. Okay, so any project, if you see, these are the expectations from the functional consultant. Then how can you say that functional consultant if doesn't know whether they will survive it? You have a lot to do for the survival.
Okay, thanks a lot, Aditya.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, please go ahead if any other question. Okay, so if there is no question, and yes, if you have any further question which somehow you are not able to asking here, but if you have some other question, you are always welcome to reach out to coordinator and drop your question. We will try to revert back you as soon as possible. And yes, that's
I
it.
have around 10 years of experience in SAP Technical ABAP. So is it would be a right to change to MDG? Uh, so I just
Madam,
want
I
to
think
confirm.
Madam, I think I have answered this. So in short, I can say it is a age
I
for
just
you.
joined now. Maybe I missed it.
Yes, you have missed it. So I request
Okay.
you to please go through this recording. I have already covered this, but just to
Okay.
answer you that yes,
Mm.
in fact you are coming from a ABAP background, so it is a age for you. So yeah, so it is obviously a beneficial decision for you. So you just go through it, the recording, and I think the rest of the details you will get here.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, and wish you all the best, and have a good day. Thank you.
Thanks, Aditya.
Thanks, Aditya.
Thank you. Thank you.